good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Oh, thank you for being here for this webinar today. I'm Andrea Zenz. Thank you to my colleague Hugh Peterson, who let you know that I was having some technical difficulties today. I am the product manager for multiple product lines here at Standard Imaging, including our software as a service product QA Pilot, and now PIPSpro AutoPilot for automated image QA. Before we get started, just to let you know, this is being recorded and will be available on our website shortly. So now on to the presentation. For those of you looking for more automation in your QA routines, we're happy to announce that QA Pilot with PIPSpro AutoPilot has landed. PIPSpro AutoPilot is an add-on new feature for our remarkable QA Pilot platform for physics QA management that allows users to take advantage of our automated analysis of image-based tests. For your TG142 imager and machine QA, PIPSpro AutoPilot will automatically analyze uploaded image files and display the results in the assigned TG142 schedule. No manipulation of images is required. No need to mark fiducials. No need to define analysis regions. It's all done automatically. This is our new menu here just to show you. And as I was saying, whatever type of images you have, you can bring them in and you can see them and get them analyzed automatically in PIPSpro AutoPilot. Oh, I've never had something like this before. Anyway, as with QA Pilot generally, it is incredibly easy to create customized QA schedules that include PIPSpro AutoPilot image-based tests through template management. So manage templates, and here you go. We offer a number of preset templates, as you can see here, which are a great starting point from which you can create copies and modify to suit your needs. Or you can simply add image-based tests to your existing QA templates and schedules. An icon indicates image-based tests that are available within our list of available tests that are selectable by group or individually to be part of your QA schedule. As with QA Pilot, we enable you to take control of your workflow. And once tests by individual group or section have been chosen for your particular QA template and schedule, simply reorder them here on the right to match your clinical workflows. Once your QA schedule is set, simply drag and drop your images into the template for analysis. The images, test results, and trended data are automatically added to your database in the cloud. Here's an example of the Winston-Lutz test results. Be sure to select the applicable coordinate system for your particular LINAC. Monthly QA is often done throughout the month, which is very nicely supported by PIPSpro AutoPilot. Summary results for each test section are displayed so you know immediately if something needs further investigation. You can also click on the incomplete tests noted on the report and go straight to those sections to pick up where you left off. We'll go and look at all of this in the software in a moment, but first, just in case you do not know about QA Pilot in overall, here's a quick overview. So QA Pilot, it is a database and management system. QA Pilot provides dashboard summaries for everything from sites and machines to QA schedules, statuses and reports, and to equipment inventory and tasks for broad QA oversight. Tracking machine downtime, service items, audit and accreditation documentation, process improvement goals, and all other details are easily managed and detailed with the detailed information gathered and stored within QA Pilot with PIPSpro AutoPilot, not only for QA task management, but for departmental management. It is also important to note that QA Pilot and PIPSpro AutoPilot is provided as software as a service model. This translates into lower entry costs, lower maintenance costs, scalability, and data security. It is also worth noting what QA Pilot does not do in order to make management easier. So these are things it does not limit you to or does not do, which in fact makes your life just that much easier, right? It does not limit the number of users. It does not contain patient data. It does not require the replacement of QA devices in order to be able to integrate device data. It does not require software reinstallation at every update, the beauty of the SaaS model, and it does not limit custom tests to simple pass-fail or text fields. So now we can take a closer look at the software by going over here, and we've got a couple different things we're going to look at in here. This is my playground, if you will. So as I stated, as with QA Pilot with PIPSpro AutoPilot is organized in order, sort of a frequency with which you're going to do things. You're going to be performing QA, so that's first and foremost, reviewing QA. And this is great as a reviewing physicist. You can come in and see the status very quickly through the dashboard system here. What is in progress, what is passed, what potentially needs some action. If you go into here, for example, and you click on the one that throws up the red alert or red error, you can go in and go, deviation way off here. Something's not okay with our setup. You notice here that we have a couple here that are in the alert level, not the actual error level. Of course, when you're looking at that summary page, it's going to report the worst thing that it notices in a report. And again, you can quickly go through these tests, through this summary here to see the details of those reports. Click on an image to see what it is that is being analyzed and what any issues may be with that. So in the Manage section, this is where you as a physicist getting things started, of course, are going to be looking at everything from sites and machines, your users, your measurement devices that you are using. So for your image-based tests, you're using the PIPSpro QC3 Phantom, QCKV Phantom, FC2, those types of phantoms. We do support other competing vendors because it is important to us to remain vendor neutral. Although, of course, we highly recommend the PIPSpro Phantoms because they are calibrated to gold standards and giving you the best, most robust QA equipment available. So when you want to create those templates, as I showed, we have some preset templates. Notice with preset templates, you can view them, what tests are in there. You may copy them, but you may not modify them as I've done with other ones up here. So for example, if I wanted to copy this one, it's very simple to do that. Give it a new name, make your life easy. I'm just going to call it Linac 1. And we're going to say, yep, I'm going to copy this one. What types of equipment does it apply to? You're making it active. And this is where you go into the lovely sweetness of QA Pilot and QA Pilot with PIPSpro AutoPilot. We have a lot of available tests. These on the right are the ones that have been pre-selected, but now we're looking and saying, okay, well, let's add some monthly QA tests that include perhaps some of our image-based tests. So picket fence, notice you can select all of them via the click of the button, or you can select or deselect individual tests. The little eye here lets you know, click on that to see what it actually will show up as in your template. And we're going to just nix out of that for a hot minute. And then since we've added those to the existing template, they're added on the right, again, at the bottom of the list. But as I've already mentioned, you can easily move this up within your schedule so that it follows your clinical workflow. Or maybe I want to do a certain test before another test. Within a group of tests, and those of course are configurable. Something that's super important with QA Pilot and a QA Pilot with PIPSpro AutoPilot is customization to really make it the tool that you need for your department. So that's kind of what I wanted to show in there. Again, with the review, or when you click into something, you want to continue from where you've left off. Because again, often with monthly QA, you start that at one point and continue. This is what I mean with the drag and drop box. You can also click to add a file in this manner. You can also choose whether to have your one single drag and drop box at the top of your schedule, or you can do it by section. That is a personal preference. Again, the customizability to make it work the way you want. So once you're done collecting all of your images, you have saved them in a particular file, you're simply going to go find that file, drag them in, and there's a click to process, and away you go, and it's going to populate your results. As it does, for example, we'll just pick one, slice thickness, and it's going to show you your regions of interest and your results. You are, of course, setting your tolerances. They can be based on absolute values, or they can be based on a baseline and a percentage. Those are all, again, customizable to what you need and what you need to track according to your internal processes. Now I'm going to hop over to my other site here because this is my much more mature version, if you will, of QA Pilot. As you can see, a lot more templates, a lot more centers. Again, please note that as a product manager, of course, I'm looking at everything, but for every site, every machine, every scheduled template, the only things that are going to show up for people are those things that they are actually assigned to. You can assign people, everyone at a center. You can assign people to specific Linux. You can assign them to specific QA schedules. So these are really good. A couple of things I want to highlight before we end here, because I really did show you what's in the PIPSpro AutoPilot is about QA Pilot in general. We have those great templates to get you started, but we also realize that for an awful lot of people that only get you part of the way. So I've created a whole bunch of additional items here. I just want to get back to my playground, which happens to be my laser tests here, and show you what we offer in custom tests, because there's really a lot. So in custom tests, you give it a name, you can give it as full a description as you want to. And then we have a variety of numerical functions that are built into the system that you can utilize in your custom tests and also custom tables. So averaging, sum, standard deviation, magnitude difference, products, all those are great. We've also built in things like a specific deviation test, where you can also define some other things like common nominal value, whether I'm going to average my values. For the ratio test as well, again, am I going to use a common denominator? Am I going to average my numerator? Those types of things. Whether you create a pass-fail or a pass-fail warning, note that they don't need to be called pass-fail. If you want it door open, door closed, if it has to be system on, system off, whatever it is that you want to label them as, that is, again, a customization for you. One of the other things that I think is great is that by simply creating a custom test that is a file attachment, you can choose whether to render right within your QA schedule an image from some other, from your console, for example, or a report from a product or tool or anything that you might be using, you can render it right within your QA schedule, or you can put it as a thumbnail if you don't want to render it in line. So you can bring in results not only through database connections with our equipment hub or the API functionality, but you can also bring in things as a custom test. It's kind of funky, kind of cool. The other thing that we have, as I said, we have numeric tables where you can set up rows and columns. I'm going to go over here and preview it, which is really nice because, again, those previews let you show you how it's going to appear within the schedule that you're performing. And you can double check that it's the way you want it to be before you actually apply it to a particular QA schedule. So here I've created something maybe not totally physics relevant, but you know, I'm not a physicist and I wanted to have some fun. I'm doing multiple functions here. I can create sums on my rows. I'm averaging my columns, and I'm looking at some differences between reference and my MLCs at 0, or the difference between my reference and those two items. So there's, again, it's just to highlight that there's lots of things that you can do by row, by column, or by individual cells within this table. So we're doing lots and lots of things to move you away from spreadsheets that are a hassle to maintain, move you away from binders, get it all in QA Pilot so you have your audit record. A couple of notes that I just want to make on the overall departmental communication, departmental organization, ways to improve processes. We support that as well through a couple of different items. One of them is our document section, and this can be anything. It can be PDFs, Excel, Word, images, whatever type of file you want to put here. But if you have procedures and policies, you know, departmental procedures and policies, great place to store them. As those procedures or policies get revised, you can upload a new version, okay? And once you upload a new version and you decide where it applies within your organization, you can then also assign it to people so that they have to sign off on this update. So you're keeping everyone informed. They have to confirm to you that they've been informed. You use the HIPAA compliant internal email to send out those messages and get notification of when people do actually sign them off. You can also decide which roles are responsible for taking a look and signing off on this, as well as whether it applies to certain centers within your organization or not. Great communication tool, great thing to keep everyone informed of what's going on. Another thing that's really important is machine log. Now, of course, this was originally created with the thoughts of when you're tracking machine downtime and communicating that with vendors and tracking what's going on and being able to attach service records to a machine log. But it has been expanded, and through the manage section, you can determine which fields appear, whether it applies to room equipment. In this case, we only identified beam checker, what types of categories you may be looking at. You can set up machine logs to track your physics server, you know, anything, or you have a short-term project, you could actually create, we'd call it a machine log, but create a mini project in here, again, with steps that you would want to create categories so that you can sign off and so on and so forth. Communicate that information. If the machine is down and you want to mark it down, you know, back to its original intention, you can it'll start timing that downtime. And again, that place for you to attach a record. If somebody wants to go in, oops, let me scroll up a teeny bit here. If you want to look at updating what is in our machine log, these are all of them that have occurred. You can see what's open, what's been closed. If you want to update something, you can do that. Another thing to notice with QA Pilot here, as in every other place, you have ways to filter down to exactly what you want by a specific site or a specific machine, so that you're really zooming in on the things that matter most to you very, very, very quickly. So machine log is another great thing to mention. The other thing we have are tasks. You can assign a task literally on any page web page within the application. And then if I added something here, then when I land on this machine log page, it's going to have a number here that there's actually a task that's been assigned to this specific page. What's really great is if it's a long due date, you can send out a reminder. You can, of course, again, using that HIPAA compliant email, you can notify the person that is being assigned to, and you can also get notified when it has actually been completed. Those are really great things. You can also look at all the tasks from here, and again, mark them finished, edit them, or delete them should that be necessary. So again, lots of communications tools that are available and open for everyone to see and your department to fully utilize. So that really, I think, is the whirlwind tour of everything that I wanted to highlight for you today. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box. I'll give you a minute to do that. And again, say thank you ever so much for your patience this morning. I have no idea why I was having trouble. But, you know, life throws you a curveball. You just got to deal with it. So, again, just to finish off, if you want more information, this recording as well as other recorded webinars are available on our website. We have, of course, an upcoming webinar next week. So if you want to register for that one or any of our other future webinars, please access those on our website. If you want more information, a more in-depth personalized demo, you can reach out to our sales team at sales@Standard Imaging, or you can reach out to me at azens@standardimaging.com. We are here to help. We absolutely want to help. Let us know. So I see that somebody was kind enough to let me know that they couldn't see my screen, but fortunately we got that sorted out. Other than that, I'm not seeing any questions here. If I missed your question, I'm sorry. I will see it on follow-up when this is over and make sure I get back to you. I want to say again, thank you for your infinite patience today. Go off, enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in the world, and we'll talk again or I'll be presenting to you again soon. Bye-bye.